Hi again. John Karel von Baalen, Chaos of Cults. He's talking about Swedenborg's doctrines. He's got to the doctrine of death and the second coming here. Quote, and these quotes are mostly from his books Heaven and Hell and the True Christian Religion. Death. When the body is no longer able to perform the bodily functions in the natural world that correspond to the spirit's thoughts and affections, man is said to die. This takes place when the respiration of the lungs and the beating of the heart cease. But the man does not die. He is merely separated from the bodily part that was of use to him in the world, while the man himself continues to live. Evidently, then, the death of man is merely his passing from one world into another. Obviously, this is not New Testament teaching. Death is the last enemy. It's not a friend that enables you to pass from a lesser life to a higher life. Now the second coming. Since the Lord cannot manifest himself in person, it follows that he will do this by means of a man who is able not only to receive these doctrines in his understanding, but also to publish them by the press. That the Lord manifested himself before me, his servant, and sent me to this office, I affirm in truth. By the New Jerusalem coming down from God out of heaven, a new church is meant, for the reason that Jerusalem was the metropolis in the land of Canaan, and the temple and altar were there. This is why Jerusalem signifies the church. It is in accordance with divine order that a new heaven should be formed before a new church is established on earth, for the church is both internal and external, and the internal church makes one with the church in heaven, thus with heaven itself. This church is to follow those that have existed since the beginning of the world, and that it is to endure for ages and ages, and is thus the crown of all the churches that have preceded, was foretold by Daniel. I don't know where, but he says so. What this church is fully described in the Apocalypse, where the end of the former church and the beginning of the new are treated of. The second coming of the Lord is a process already going on, changing the very environment of all mankind. It is not to be a bodily coming. That second coming is as the very spirit of truth. We feel Swedenborg has been a chosen instrument to make the truth concerning the second coming better known. That's a summation by one Franklin Blackmer, who was the president of the 131st General Convention, Church of the New Jerusalem. This is in 1954. So Swedenborgianism is still around, not nearly as influential as it once was, at least directly. That is in the middle of the 18th and into the 19th centuries. Now he takes up little children in heaven. I have taught with angels about little children, whether they are free from evils, inasmuch as they have no actual evil as adults have. And I was told that they are equally in evil, and in fact are nothing but evil. But like all angels, they are so withheld from evil and held in good by the Lord as to seem to themselves to be in good from themselves. For this reason, when children have become adults in heaven, that they may not have the false idea about themselves that the good in them is from themselves and not from the Lord, they are now and then let down into their evils, which they inherited, and are left in them until they know, acknowledge, and believe the truth of the matter. In the other life, one never suffers punishment on account of his inherited evil. That is, it is not his fault that he is such. When, therefore, the children that have become adults are let down into the state of their inherited evil, it is not that they may suffer punishment for it, but that they may learn of themselves they are nothing but evil, and that it is by the mercy of the Lord that they are taken up into heaven from the hell in which they are, and that it is from the Lord that they are in heaven, and not from any merit of their own. Notice it's about heaven and a hell on earth here. This is not the eschatology of Orthodox Christianity, nor of Jehovah's Witnesses, but it has similarities. What we just saw about the second coming not being a literal coming at all, and Jerusalem not being a literal city. This is just not the teaching of either testament. Now he takes up autosoterism, meaning salvation by yourself. Quote, and they fail to understand that the Lord from mercy leads everyone who accepts him, and that he accepts him who lives in accordance with the laws of divine order, which are the precepts of love and of faith, and that the mercy that is meant is to be thus led by the Lord from infancy to the last period of life in the world and afterwards to eternity. So you get there basically by just learning and continuing to learn. It's a gradual process. It's not salvation that can be had in this life. It's something you attain to by, well, your efforts, but the Lord leads you, and he leads you by knowledge. So you can see creeping through, as he said in the first of our segments on Swedenborg, von Baalen sees the Gnostic connection, that it's a vertical relationship leading you gradually to perfect yourself. Not dissimilar in that sense from Hinduism and Buddhism in their doctrine of karma, that all must learn and all eventually will be saved. I'm going to put a link in this time to the history of Jehovah's Witnesses with the Book of Revelation, because their tortured way of treating the symbolisms of Revelation, when they are symbolisms, they're not always symbolisms. So for instance, the Book of Revelation talks about literal Jerusalem and New Jerusalem above, not either or. And unless you see these nuances and subtleties, you're trapped in the eternal dependency that cultic involvement leads you to. You're always at the mercy of the interpretations of your leader. So that's been the case in the history of Jehovah's Witnesses. They've actually published 6 books, 6 pretty large books on Book of Revelation, and of course that's over 4 generations since the finished mystery, having to replace basically their commentary on Revelation every generation, as it became obvious that their original interpretations were misleading. And presently they have no, as far as I know, they have no book in print that is being printed as a book. You have to go to their website to get their latest emendations of the last one, published, 30 odd years ago? So JW's history with Revelation, we summed it up in this video I'll put on your screen, surveying the 6 books they've published over the years. And also I'll put on your screen the Revelation playlist, which is this is just Jehovah's Witnesses related videos, but from the standpoint of Jehovah's Witnesses, there's a lot to say because of the ways in which their interpretations of that book have wandered and even contradicted themselves over the last 5 generations. So I'll put that playlist on your screen. See you next time.